How could fish, which obtain their oxygen from their water using gills, evolve into amphibians, which obtain their oxygen from the air using lungs? One fact that many people don't appreciate is that many fish and larval amphibians possess both gills and lungs and can simultaneously depend on both the oxygen in the water and the oxygen in the air. And so here we see fish which are coming to the surface to breathe because they can't get enough oxygen from the water using their gills. So their gills are functional, but they need to supplement this oxygen with oxygen from the air as well. Since the most primitive bony fish alive today possess a swim bladder, which can also be used to obtain oxygen from the air, it is thought that the most primitive bony fish, the ancestral state, is that there was a swim bladder which obtained oxygen from the air. In the sarcopterygian fish, this one single bag became two separate lungs, and modern lungfish both use their gills to obtain oxygen from the water and go to the surface to take gulps of air and use their true lungs to obtain oxygen from the air. In these videos, you can observe larval amphibians, tadpoles of wood frogs, and the larvae of spotted salamanders. The larvae of spotted salamanders possess visible external gills around their neck, while the tadpoles of wood frogs possess internal gills. These gills are obtaining oxygen from the water and performing gas exchange. However, if this oxygen is not sufficient, they can rise to the surface and take gulps of air so that their lungs, which will be the only respiratory organs they have as adults, can then perform gas exchange using the air that they have swallowed from the surface. And so these larval amphibians are depending both on the oxygen from the water that they take up with their gills and the oxygen from the air that they breathe with their lungs. And thus the evolution of amphibians probably occurred as fish and amphibians had both gills and lungs and gradually became more efficient at using their lungs to breathe air.